Good. How are you guys?
Good. How's Brock Purdy feeling?
Good. He's done more this week than he's been doing, and he's had a couple good days, and we got to see how these next 48 hours goes. But he's had one of his better weeks, and in terms of coming back from the injury, and we're hoping for the best.
All his practices aggressive?
I don't know what that means. He's had good practices. He just looks more confident, and that's been the goal. So if we can kind of get through these few days and him progressing, we hope it stays in that direction.
How does his arm strength and like lower body mechanics look compared to like the way it looked this summer?
I wouldn't say I noticed a difference. I mean, I think that's the goal, is that it needs to look the same. He needs to be just as confident as he was in training camp, as he was in week one. And I feel like if we saw something that concerned us, we wouldn't be going this direction. So I would say it looks the same to me.
Kyle said yesterday that he could kind of feel that Brock was back up to normal speed. Did you also get that same sense that you could feel that he was just the way the ball was coming out?
Yeah, I think Brock looks good. I mean, I agree with that. I think he's had some good practices, and again, that's been our goal. Is we don't want to put him back on the field unless we feel confident that he can be his normal self. So.
Did the rain complicate things today?
Initially, it was bad. It was coming down, but our guys didn't really care and ended up kind of stopping there in the middle of practice. So we had a good day. Yeah.
About Ricky Pearsall, what have you seen from him this week?
Yeah, he looks good. He's been getting limited reps, just kind of easing him back in, but he's looked good. I think Ricky's his mind is he wants to play, but we got to get through this week kind of like Brock and just get through it healthy and just get him back into it. But we're happy with where he's at.
Is he a full go, or would you say he might be on a snap count this week?
We'll see. I think it's too early to tell from that regard. I think he's a guy who, when he's on the field, is going to want to stay in there if he can go. But we got to be careful with him. We got to be smart, and we'll see how it goes.
I was saying that Brian Robinson's had his best game 4 weeks in a row, basically. What have you seen from him in terms of just more comfort level with the offense, or the fact that maybe he got the ball 3 or 4 times in a row to gain some rhythm? What's gone into that?
I think both of those things. The more he's out there, the longer he's here, the more comfortable he gets with our scheme and kind of how we see things in the run game. He's been able to get into a rhythm, in my opinion. I look at the New York game and last game where he's able to kind of stay out there for a drive and just get multiple runs in a row and just kind of impose his will on people. And then I think, when you look at his confidence, the things he's done for us in the kicking game, he's contributed to our team in meaningful ways, and his confidence has grown, and he's, we just hope it stays in that direction. He's doing a good job.
Even that Brock Purdy looked ready before week one, but ultimately wasn't. When you're watching him on the practice field this week and you think he looks ready, is that in the back of your mind that?
Yeah, it's a fair question, but no, not really. I think you learn from those instances. You kind of learn more about Brock. He learns more about himself and how his body reacts to things. I think any player is going to want to go. Any player is going to want to push through things, but then you learn through the experiences, okay, what can I really push through? What maybe was wrong then that needs to feel better this time around? So I think it's just a learning experience for everyone.
What did Seattle do in the run game last week to Arizona, and is there a way you guys can replicate what they did?
Yeah, they did a heck of a job. I think they had, I don't remember how many carries it was, but just, they got out to a big lead in that game and really early. I think it was like 35-0 in the second quarter. So they were able to commit to the run game really the whole second half of the game. They blocked them well. They had a good scheme. Their backs do a good job breaking tackles. They put together a nice game plan. So, yeah, there's things we look at in that game that we can hopefully try to take advantage of. But, we got to do what we do. We got to execute. We got to be better than we were last week and hopefully, have some good run game.
Christian's ability to be flexed or put in motion or basically whatever you want to do with him, why is it problematic, it seems, or is it a problem that you don't get him and Robinson on the field at the same time?
Why is it problematic that we don't? What you're asking?
Or why don't you?
We've done it a little bit here and there, but we could. It's definitely something that we talk about and that we do have in. It's not like something we're opposed to at all. But it just hasn't. I think the way games have gone, we just haven't gone that direction. So, but it's definitely something we do talk about and we have in from week to week.
I think Kyle referred a little bit to. I'm not sure he even understood it all, but the use of a fullback, the use of extra tight ends, all that stuff kind of contributes to
that. And some teams, it depends on how teams are playing you. Like some teams might treat that just as Christian as another receiver, and is that something you want? Is that how you want the defense to look at you? It just depends week to week, but when we put a fullback out there, we really kind of feel like we know what we're going to get from the defense. So some of that's part of it. There's different, it's just not something we do a lot, but if we started doing it more, you probably get a feel for how teams want to play you. But, it's just kind of something week to week we look at.
Is that a big factor in choosing personnel groupings, your ability to anticipate the coverage you're going to get when you use it?
It's part of it. I think defenses get better and better all the time about not letting you get a beat on that. I think that's what most good defenses do now in this league is you don't know what they're going to be in. And so, but you try to, especially as games go on, how are they playing us in these personnel groups? Are we getting a feel for what they're doing? You try to anticipate as best you can. I mean, that's how you game plan people. But like I said, that's the NFL, and defensive coordinators are really good at saying, hey, we've done this before. We're going to change it up. We're not going to let them get a beat on us. So it's part of the challenge every week.
Does Arizona's defense look any different to you now that they've added Walter Nolan up front?
No, not schematically. They look better. I mean, he's a really dynamic interior player, but they look like the defense they've been all year, which in my opinion is a very good defense. They've had some really tough losses in terms of one possession games that they've been in throughout the year. This is a really good team, and they're going to play hard. They're physical, and it's just going to be a challenge. And he only adds to that because he's a really talented player, and so, yeah.
We watched the film last week. What do you see from the offensive line? Maybe seeing some growth there?
Yeah, I thought in protection we did a good job. We dropped back a lot, and I don't know if we had any sacks, maybe one sack. So we thought we held up pretty good in protection. I thought there were instances in the game where we were running the ball well, but just the way the game went, we weren't able to kind of commit to the run for 4 quarters. I thought the guys played well. There's things we got to clean up, like always, but I think that group is growing and cohering, and hopefully we get some consistency with the same guys out there week to week. So.
The Mac Jones era is over with the 49ers. How gratifying was it to watch him sort of put his career back together?
I don't look at it that way at all. Mac's a member of our team. Right now he's our backup. Mac's going to be ready when his number's called again. How gratifying was it that he played well? Because he deserved it and he earned it, and he had a great offseason. He's a great teammate, and when he gets his op again, he's going to be ready. So that's how I look at it.